Hello, this is Andrew from Trend Following Mentor, and in today's portion, what I'm going to discuss with you is something fascinating. And people are always looking for the so-called Holy Grail, and they look for magic systems or indicators and all these things, and they just almost like chasing their tail trying to find them. What I'm going to teach you in this short portion is there really is a Holy Grail, but it isn't what you think. And it's harder than what you think. The first thing before we start is I want to give this disclosure, especially that I'm going to be showing numbers. But the fact is, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance. And the other thing is, trading is really not for everybody. You have to have a certain mentality, and you also have money that you're willing to lose. There's a website that I look at. It's a database of commodity trading advisors and trend followers that I look at, and actually I'm listed on there too from Abraham Investment Management. And this manager just hit my radar screen. Actually, I've known of them for years. Actually, they've been around since January of 1999, and they have a wonderful compounded annual rate of return of about 16.4, which means, putting it into context, that over a 10-year period, they got close to, I'm assuming, 5-timesing the money. So if you had $100,000 with them, it's probably worth $500,000 over 10 years, or over a 15-year period, which we're pretty close to, it could be worth $700,000 or $800,000. But it's not the only number you need to look at. Look at this number, 37.4. That's their worst drawdown, which is pretty heavy. So what I want to teach you or show you is really what is the Holy Grail. It isn't finding this magic manager, and I would definitely not suggest buying a manager that's having a great run like this. Year to date, he's up 67%, which is phenomenal. Because you want to buy a manager that's been around for a long period of time, that understands risk, has full risk measures in place, and you buy his drawdowns. But what is my point here? This is what I try to teach. Look at this period here. He had a great run, fantastic run, and probably people were throwing him all kinds of money. But he had this long period here from, let's say, mid-2002 to here. He didn't make any money. He didn't get anywhere. And then he even was below that up until here. So he went through a long period of time of not making money. But look what happens. He had his massive move. The other thing I want to point out, when I say he hasn't made money, look at from 2002-ish. He had a 19% drawdown. That's heavy. Probably that in 1999, 2000, 2001, he rose a lot of money. People threw him money because he had these fantastic returns. Then he lost 20%, down 4%. He had a nice run here. And then all of this period, pretty much, nothing happened. You can kind of see where I highlighted it. But the fact is, it doesn't have to happen. The fact is, you know what would probably happen? Most people quit at this point. They gave up on him. And then he had a 43% year. That's fantastic, especially when most trend followers in 2009 didn't do so well. And then in 2010, a lot of trend followers did well, and he didn't do well. And they probably people, they jumped on this number, they invested with him, and then they had these 2 years and they quit. Then he had one of his best years again, going back from 2000. This is what trend following is. This is the truth of what trend following is. It isn't a get-rich-quick or retirement in the box. But what is the point? If you're able to have stuck through this long period, you would have made 16.4% on average over your money. Or you would have been getting pretty close to 6 or 7 times in your money over, talking a 13-year period. Compare that to the stock market. Over a 10-year period, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Something like 0.5%, and you went down through 2 50% drawdowns. Again, I want to reiterate, there is nothing easy about trend following. There are, look at this, ugly drawdowns. Yes, there are long periods you don't make money. However, you get to a goal. You have to be focused on the goal here, that you keep on increasing your money. And it is almost eight times in your money here. You're pretty close. This is what trend following is. This is what I teach. This is what I do. I've been doing for the last 18 years. This is one example. There's a book, actually not a book, there's a pamphlet that comes out from Marhedge, which is for institutional investors. And it talks about an investor who put $300,000 in with a turtle, Tom Shanks, who took $300,000 up to $18 million. I can email you this, basically this pamphlet. You see for yourself. It has nothing to do with what, my course or anything with my trading or what I'm doing. But the fact is, this is the Holy Grail. Being patient, being focused, being disciplined, knowing what the ultimate goal is, and not quitting when you're in these ugly periods. And you're going to have ugly periods. Look at these periods right here. 2 periods, ugly. 31% drawdown in that year. That's reality. This is what will happen. But if you can stick in this and get through this, this is what can happen too. You can 8 times your money or more. Who knows? Again, I want to reiterate, past performance is not indicative of future performance. And maybe you're going to have a longer period that he doesn't make money, or any manager does. But I'm trying to give you what is the possibility. We don't know what markets are going to move. We don't know what will happen. The only certainty is uncertainty. I also invite you, I have a book coming out with Wiley Books coming out in December called The Bible of Trend Following. In that, I teach everything that I know, that I've done for the last 18 years. All the psychology, my actual methodologies. It's coming out in Wiley Books. I invite you to pick it up. If there's anything I can do to help you, again, this is Andrew from Trend Following Mentor. I thank you very much.